What's up, y'all? So I got one of the 30-inch Aztecs mounted up on my 14-inch HD9 STI wheels. Pretty easy to mount. Beadlocks are really nice. I'll give you guys a quick demo on how to bead them and how to mount them. Really no tools required. I can mount and dismount these tires with nothing but a ratchet. No tire irons. Really awesome. Recommend running beadlocks whenever possible. Make switching tires out easier, and you can run lower PSI. So I'm probably going to run about 5 PSI in these on the side-by-side, which isn't a whole lot of PSI for a side-by-side, but these tires hold up really well to low PSI. They're pretty tough sidewalls, so I'm not worried about it, especially on a beadlock. And also, I want them to be as short as possible because this thing doesn't have a whole lot of tire clearance. Even though I've got a lift kit and shocks and springs and stuff now, still a little worried about rubbing. So let me show you how tall this is. This is at 5 PSI. So we get level with it. So it's 29.25 inches tall, probably. So that is a little short at 5 PSI. At 7 PSI, they do stretch. They stretch a good bit. So this tire is probably true to height at, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 PSI. 5 PSI, it's a little short. That's the same thing with the 32-inch Aztec. So just know that a 32-inch Aztec is a little shy of 32 inches. Not a big deal. I'm not knocking them. Outlaws are the same way. Silverbacks are the same way. But you do need to know that if you buy their 34s are very true to height. Those tires. So here's the difference between a 30 and a 34. As you can see, it's quite a difference. Both at 5 PSI. The 34s are true to height, maybe a hair tall. The 32s and the 30s, which I've had both now, are a little short, maybe 3/4 inch, 10 inch short. Obviously, when you put it on the bike, it's going to squat some more at this PSI. So we'll see how they clear. This tire is 40 pounds. The 32 is like 42 pounds, and these are like 46 pounds. So pretty close in weight. The Maxilla I had on here, the front is a 28 skinny. It's only a 27.5 pound tire, so I am adding some serious weight. But this tread's pretty forgiving on axles, and it's pretty hard to spin, so I'm not too worried about the clutches or the belt, just the tire clearance. And these tires will actually ride smoother. These tires ride kind of rough. They're going to be on the sale for cheap soon. These are wides in the back, so skinny wide, 28-inch Maxillas. They pull excellent in the mud, but man, if you got to ride any road at all, they are real rough at low speeds. On a four-wheeler, they wouldn't be too bad, but on a side-by-side, that's made to be comfortable and, you know, luxurious. I wanted to go with something a little smoother, and also I want more height because this thing is still low on ground clearance, even with all the lift and stuff I've done. So I figured I might as well throw some Aztecs on there because they're pretty much my new favorite tire. So I'm going to bolt them up and see if they rub on the Wolverine. This is a 30, so it's still a good size. I can still run this on the Rubicons and the Can-Am. It'd actually be pretty cool in the Can-Am with just a 30. So I'm also going to try the 34s in the Can-Am, but I might put these first because these won't break my axles and burn the belt. So, yeah, pretty interesting. We'll see if they rub or not. One problem with these tires are they're a very square tire with these big corner knobbies, so I am kind of concerned they're going to rub when turning. But I don't know, it's lifted now, so we'll see. Alright, so to disc mount, single beadlocks, obviously take all the bolts off. That'll let the air out of the tire, and if you take the beadlock ring off first, you don't have to worry about scratching the beadlock ring when you're breaking the other bead. Now you do need a Harbor Freight bead breaker. As you can see, I'm using the four-wheeler to hold it down, to break the back bead. And these are Maxxis tires, so they've got really good beads. They're actually pretty hard to break. If you have double beadlocks, you don't have any beads to break, so that's even easier. So the tools you need really are a bead breaker, or a long piece of wood and a truck to drive up on it, and you know, I use an electric impact for all the beadlock bolts. But you don't have to do any tire iron stuff, and I'll show you what I mean by that. The beadlock ring off, busted the bead with a tire bead breaker from Harbor Freight, and you see the bead's busted. But now all you gotta do is take the wheel, push it to the side, and it pops right out. So no tire iron required, and that's because it's a beadlock. So this outer diameter is smaller than this outer diameter, so you can get it off really easy. Now, of course, you clean up your wheel, get all the sand off of here. I apply a little bit of green slime to the inner bead to help the tire bead nice. So clean it real good and put you some green slime right here, and it'll help it bead at a lower PSI and not stretch your tire out. But very easy to install. Everyone should run beadlocks in ATVs. They're only a little more expensive, only a little heavier, but way more reliable and way more convenient to mount and dismount. Alright, so this is probably the best thing about beadlocks. So now that I got this bead bolted down, as far as torque, I go around it twice with a DeWalt cordless impact brushless, and that's torque perfect. You just take the wheel and you drop it on the face, and then you take your tire chuck, locking one helps, stick it on here, and then you step on the rim, and that's it. Oh, it came off. Let me put this back on. And you step on the rim, that seals it to the back bead, and that's it. There's no strapping, there's no using ether. Very easy. This is scary. Whoa, there it goes. So that's a really good bead, probably around 30 PSI. Not going anywhere. So I failed to mention this earlier. After you mount your beadlocks, take it on a good ride, come back and retorque all of the beadlock ring bolts one more time. Just hit them with an impact, maybe just a quarter of a turn on each bolt. That will totally, completely guarantee you won't have any leaks out of the bead. Every tire is different. A lot of Zillas and Maxxis tires have a thinner bead on the tire. Some people don't call that a bead, whatever, have a thinner lip on the tire, if you will. So if your beadlocks aren't tightened down perfectly, you're gonna get a little bit of a leak there. Tarachis, nice thick sidewalls, no problems there. But I went ahead and retorqued everything again. Took like 2 minutes and a little extra guarantee. So far, no rubbing, so really happy with that. Okay, so just for the record, these back tires are the same as the front. Aztex only come in a skinny. They're kind of wide for a skinny. These are, say that they're 9 inches wide. I think they're about 9.5, which is perfect for front and rear. I'm not worried about the back rubbing, because if the back does rub, it's only going to be at full up travel. I'm just going to touch right here. It isn't going to make any noise. It's not going to be really annoying. It's hitting metal. It's not going to tear the plastic up. So I'm not worried about the rear. I think with my lift kit and the shocks, the rear is going to be fine. The front might be rubbing a little bit. We'll look at that in a minute. Also want to point out the tires took off the back were 28 by 11 Maxxillas. Those weigh 32.5, 33 pounds a piece. So I'm only adding 6.5, 7 pounds to the rear, each of the rear tires. The front I did make a good bit heavier, which is fine. This thing is a little back heavy, weight distribution wise. So there's the clearance up front. It looks good until I turn it. Let's see how it looks when we turn it. Actually pretty good. So I don't think I'm gonna have any rub as static. There might be some situations where it'll rub hitting bumps and stuff, but lift kit really does make a difference. I can always heat up the plastic and melt it a little bit. It looks perfect like that, but like I said, it's just when you turn, you get a little close to the floorboard. So now time to take it outside and do the other side. It's raining, so I'm stuck working in the garage. Very annoying. Dirt bike's getting wet. All right, let me give you guys a little walk around in the rain. Looks pretty good. Looks way bigger. It doesn't really fit in the garage anymore. I'm gonna have to adjust the garage door higher. Oh yeah, that looks good. Clearance is good, got about an inch more clearance. No rubbing yet, I've been driving it around, so far so good. That looks a lot more gnarly and less grandpa-y. Good clearance. Let's check out them arched arms, y'all. Obviously the hitch is gonna come out for off-roading. Oh yeah, good to go. Way smoother too.